This is something that affects every corner of the state. Just on Monday, we had an event in Southfield in southeast Michigan at Lawrence Tech. And one of the professors there told the story of a fellow professor who actually, they do their work on bridges. They go out and do the analysis, and they were out analyzing a bridge in southeastern Michigan, and while they were out there, this woman professor was standing there, and she had a chunk of concrete about twice the size of this fall right next to her. If it would have landed on her head, potentially could have killed her. That's the state of some of our bridges. That doesn't work, folks. That's dangerous. Just this morning, we went to 196. Director Steidel and I did. It's the second picture from the left here. You can see steel beams. They're holding up other steel beams. That's one of the great gateways to West Michigan for the entire state. About 200,000 cars a day go over that bridge. It's being held up, as one of the news people described to me, actually they had a great analogy. It's like having temporary jacks holding up your house. As those metal beams are there because the concrete that are otherwise holding those steel beams is basically failing. That's not a situation you want to have happen. Think of the consequences, not just in terms of how many lives could be lost if that failed, but what that would do to 200,000 vehicles a day having to find different routes for potentially months to years while a solution was put in place. That doesn't work well. These are the kind of situations we face. The great part is I believe the citizens are finally speaking up. That's what we need to have happen here. So we need each individual to speak up to their House member and Senate member, if it comes back to that, to say we need to get a solution in place. And that's where it's happening in every corner. This isn't a good answer. The last thing I'll leave you with is one of the other great tools we've had to use to protect our roads because of a lack of resources. Again, we're trying to do the right thing, but this is not a good answer when you're using plywood as your solution to bridge problems. And the reason the plywood's being used is it's going up as decking on a number of the bridges like the one I talked about, so chunks of concrete are not falling on people's head. That doesn't mean the concrete's not failing and falling down. It's just being caught by the plywood. So my appeal today is asking every citizen that's watching this, listening to this, getting part of this, is to contact your House member in particular and ask him to support the road package that's come over from the Senate that we support. That was a good package. It's a compromise. There's nothing wrong with a good compromise. That's the way it's supposed to work, folks.